everyone, and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa, and I have my friend joining us today for our lesson. Let's say hi to everyone. Our theme this week is autumn, and we're going to be talking a lot about autumn. But before we get into our lesson, it is very important to sanitize our hands. So let us take our sanitizer. 2 spritz, well done. Inside, in between, round and round, and on our wrists. Very good. Today's lesson will be about number order, number patterns, value, addition and subtraction, as well as halving and doubling. This exercise can be found on page 3. Here we can see that we are supposed to arrange these numbers from smallest to biggest. What we are going to do is number 1 together, number 1A. So let's take a look at the board. I have written number 1A on the board, and we are going to try and find out which number comes first. The numbers that we have are 15, 12, 42, and 18. Now, how do we check which one should come first? Well, we start with the first digit of every number. As you can see, there is a 1 for every first digit except for 42. So that means it's not the smallest. Now, if the number is the same for all of them for the first digit, what you are going to do is check the second digit. So let us now check the second digit. We can see that there's a 5, a 2, and an 8. And out of the second digits, we know that 2 is the smaller number. Therefore, 12 is the first number. So we write our number 12, and then we cancel our number 12 so that we don't use it again. Then we take a look at our numbers that are left. Here we have 5 and 8. The second digit, that is the smallest, remember? So we are looking at 15 as our next number. So we are going to write the number 15 and cancel the number 15 so that we don't use it again. The next number we're going to take a look at is 8. Now remember, we did say from smallest to biggest. So, which number is bigger or smaller? Is it 42 or 18? We are going to write 18. I hope you are following at home. And cancel. That means that the last number we are going to write in this line is the number 42. So we are going to write our number 42 and cancel the number 42. Now remember, children, you have to check your work. And remember the instruction. This one said from smallest to biggest. So now we're going to check our numbers again. Here we have 12, 15, 18, and 42. Do you think it's correct? Yes, it is correct. I hope you did the same at home. Let's take a look at number 2A. This time, instead of making it from smallest to biggest, we are starting from biggest to smallest. Now, the first thing we always check is the first digit. Here we have 6, 1, 6, and 2. So it seems like the bigger digits here are the 6s. Then, if we see that they are the same, we are going to have to check the second digit. Let's take a look at 62. We have 2 here and we have 8. Now remember, organize or arrange our numbers from biggest to smallest. So the biggest number here is 68. So we are going to write 68 here. And we cancel 68. And then we are going to move on to the other numbers. The next bigger number is 62 because we were comparing it to 68. So you cancel the number 62 and you write the number 62. Now, we have two numbers remaining. We have 17 and 25. Again, you must look at the first digit. We know that 2 is bigger than 1. So that means 25 is bigger than 17. And that makes 25 our next number. So we write the number 25 and we cancel the number 25. And then we put our last number, which is 17, and we cancel the number 17. Do you think it's correct? Yes, they are all correct. But like I said before, you must check your work. So remember, we were arranging the top one from smallest to biggest. And then the bottom one was biggest to smallest. So let us check our numbers. We have 68, 62, 25, and 17. I'm sure you can do the rest by yourselves. And since it is the same for the grade 3s on the next page, page 4, I'm sure the grade 3s can also do the same. Remember to always check what you are doing. Are you arranging from smallest to biggest or biggest to smallest? Enjoy yourselves. I hope you enjoyed your exercise. Now let's turn to page 5. On page 5, you can see that we have number patterns. And the instruction says, a number pattern is a sequence of numbers that follow a certain rule. It is your job to complete the number patterns. Now, there are many ways to do this, but I am going to show you one way that will be very simple for everyone. Let's take a look at the board. On the board, I have number 1. We're going to do number 1 together. Now, we're going to start by counting what numbers we have. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and dash. You and I are going to fill in that dash. But the way we're going to do it is what I would like to show you. We are going to start because we need to know how many numbers are in between the two numbers in the first. So we're going to have 2 and we count on until we get to our next number. So we have 2, 3, 4. Let's move on. Counting on 4, 5, 6. Let's keep going. 6, 7, 8. Let us continue. 8, 9, 10. Let's count together. 10, 11, 12. Now, before we can get to our red line to complete the pattern, we are going to check how many numbers are in between so that we know what our next number is. Now, it seems like there's only one number in between each number. And as you can see, there is 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So if we were to count on using what we know as one number, we will get our answer. So let's start from 12. And remember, we're only counting one more number until we have to write the next number. So it is 12, 13, and our next number is 14. If you got that correct at home, good job. Well done. Let us now look at number 5, because I know the rest are very easy for you now that you know. But number 5 seems like it is counting backwards. So, we have our numbers. Remember, when you are doing a number pattern, you first need to say the numbers out loud. So we have 52, 44, 36, 28, 20, and 12. Now, remember you need to count the numbers that are in between each number so that you can understand what the pattern is. Let us take a look at 52. And don't forget, we are counting backwards. So we have 52, and we're counting backwards. 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44. Let us continue counting. 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36. 36 is this one, so we don't need this stick. Let us continue from 36. 36, remember we are counting backwards. 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. Let us continue from 28. 28, remember we are counting backwards. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Let us continue. Remember, we are counting backwards. It's important because you might find yourself going forward. So let's start from 20. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Oopsie, teacher almost made a mistake there. Now, we need to find out how many numbers are in between each of these numbers so that we can find out what is the pattern. Let me take a different colored chalk. We are going to count what is in between and put a little total in between the number. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sticks. So we have 7 here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sticks. So we have another 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like some pattern is coming out here. Let's count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think it is safe to say that our pattern that is going to help us for the next number is 7. So that means starting from 12, we need to count our 7 sticks and then we will write the next number. So let us take some chalk. And we are starting from number 12, going backwards. Let's go. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's count our sticks before. Remember, there need to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are on 6. 5, which means the next number that we are supposed to write is the number 4. Now we have a completed pattern. I know it takes a long time, but it is important for you to make sure that you know what numbers are in between, like what we did here. We know that there was one number here, and then there was 7 numbers in between each number. Now let's go down to the exercise below. The exercise below says, write the next number in each sequence according to the rule. As you can see, number 1, number 2, and number 3 have different rules. We are only going to do number 1 together, but we're not going to go very, very far. We are going to start because it says add 5. Let's take a look at the board. Now I know we have been counting in 5s for a very long time, so there is no need for us to do it completely like that. We are going to take our hand, take your hand, very good, and we're going to use our fingers to count to 5. Wiggle your fingers for me. Well done. And the thumb is the one that we're going to write down. Okay, so we're going to start from 65. And let's count. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So that means that our answer is 70. Now that I've shown you all these methods, I hope you're going to be able to do your exercise by yourself. Have fun. I hope you really enjoyed that exercise. I know it took you a long time to do, but remember, it's better to get the answers correct than to just rush into your work. Now let's take a look at the exercise on page 6. For page 6, our exercise is about value. Number 1, we'll be talking about value. Now remember, it's different from place value, where we are dealing with tens and units. Value, we are dealing with numbers and digits. And the instruction is, write the value of the underlined digit. Remember, the first digit is the one that is in the group of tens. Even though we're not going to write tens, we know that the tens are 10, 20, 30, up until 100. And the units, even though we're not going to write units, is just a single digit. You can see from the example there that in our number 54, the number 4 is underlined. Therefore, our answer is 4. And our next example, 47, the number 4 is underlined. So that means that it is part of the tens as a bond. So our answer is 40. All we are doing is replacing the 7 with a 0. Now that I have explained this, I'd like you to try it by yourselves. And number 2 is easy as well. It says, count the small blocks. Write the number into the space provided. This one is so easy, and I know that you can do this in less than 1 minute. Let's now go to page 7. On page 7, we are doing a bit of addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction can come in many forms. Our addition today will be including carrying on. You can see that A has been done for you. And if you look closer, they have carried on so that the answer is correct. Let's move on to B. B is subtraction. Now the subtraction that you can see there is also straightforward, but I will show you in an example on the board how we can borrow from another number. Let's take a look at the board. We are going to do C and D from our exercise. I want you to follow in your booklet, and it is very important that you do. Now remember, when we are adding or subtracting, we always start from the far side coming to the side closer. So we are starting from 8. And we say 8 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. But we can't write the number 15. We can only write one digit. So we write the number 5. And we carry on our number 1 to the next digit right here. So our 2 becomes a 3. So we're going to add a little 1 here. So we now say 3 plus 8, which is 11, which means that we are only going to put one digit, our 1, and we're going to carry that other digit to the next number. And we know we have a 1 here. So that now makes it a 2. And it says 2 plus nothing. And it becomes 2. So this is how we carry over. We make sure that we have our little sticks at the top to know how many we are carrying over. Here we carried 1 over and it made the 2 into a 3. And here we carried another 1 over, which made the 1 into a 2. And our answer from the full sum is 128 plus 87 equals 215. Let us move to D. Now D is subtraction, which means taking away. And we have the method of borrowing. Now we all borrow things sometimes. When it's cold, remember autumn is the windy month. Sometimes we need a jacket, sometimes we need a hoodie or something. So the numbers sometimes also need to borrow from each other. Let us take a look at this number. Remember, when we are adding or subtracting, we always start from the further number, from us coming into the sum. It says 8 minus 7. Well, we know what 8 minus 7 is. It's very simple, isn't it? 8 minus 7 is 1. So we have no problems here. But now we have 4 minus or subtract 8. That doesn't sound right. So we need to help the number 4 get some more numbers. So we are going to borrow from the number 2. And we make this 2, we cancel this 2 and make it a 1. And then we borrow that 1 that we took from 2 and put it next to our 4, and it makes it 14. Now what is 14 minus 8? If you're not able to figure it out from your head, you can still use your fingers to count on. So you count on from 8 and you say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 until you get to the number 14. So we know that our answer is 6. So we are going to write our 6 here. And then, remember, we took away one digit from the number 2. So it has become 1. And it says 1 minus nothing. Since there is nothing to take away from 1, it becomes 1. So our answer becomes 248 minus 87 equals 161. Now that I've shown you how to carry on for the adding and to borrow from the subtraction, I want you to try the exercise that is there for you. Don't forget to listen to what I have just said. For adding, we are carrying on. And for subtraction, we are borrowing. Have fun. I know maths can be difficult sometimes, but I'm pretty sure that the last exercise was fun for you. Let's now move on to the last one for today, on page 8. Page 8, we are dealing with halving and doubling. Now, when we do halve something, that means that we are breaking it apart. And when we are doubling, that means we are adding more. If you can see that the boxes that are there, it looks a little confusing, but number 1 has been done for you. Number 1 has 10 in the middle. And if you halve 10, you have the number is the one on the other side, the one where the arrow is pointing towards. So half of 10 is 5. Now if we take that same number, 5, and we try to double it, we should be able to get the same answer, which is 10. So half of 10 is 5. And then if you double that 5, you should get 10. We are going to try the last one there, where it says 8. So let's take a look at the board. On our board, we have 8 in a box. Now we want to find out what half of 8 is. So we are going to split them or share equally. We are going to count. And we're going to do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have our sticks that we have shared equally on each side. Now let's count how many we have on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we write the number 4. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we write the number 4. So that must mean that half of 8 is 4. So let us write our number 4. Now remember, I said we take that same number that we have written here and we try and double it to see if we are going to get the same answer here. So let us take our 4 here and we're going to count on. Remember, we need to count on 4 times. So we are going to draw 4 sticks underneath the box 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to count on from the number 4. Are you ready? Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our answer was 8, which means that if we double it, it becomes 8. That's how we know that our answers are correct. Now, I don't want you to guess. I know it is very tempting to guess. But if you do the working out, you will see that the answers that you get on both sides will be correct. And that was our last exercise for this lesson. Now remember, it is important to continue to sanitize your hands every time. So let's take our sanitizer. 2 spritz, yes. Inside, in between, round and on our wrists. And let's make sure that they're dry. Very good. Whilst we are doing that, you can check your social distancing so that you make sure you're not touching anyone. But I haven't seen our special friend today. I wonder where he is. Where is he? Hi, Sashi. So from my friend, myself, and Sashi, we would like to say Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They know everything. Until next time, bye!